Lynn Dunn just threw Stephanie White straight under the bus, and Fever fans are absolutely losing their minds right now. The front office drama in Indiana just hit a whole new level of messy, and this could completely reshape Caitlin Clark's future in the WNBA. This situation is way bigger than most people think. It's not just about coaching decisions, it's about the very identity of the Indiana Fever and whether the organization is willing to evolve around a once-in-a-generation player. So let's break down this absolute circus happening in Indianapolis. Lynn Dunn, a respected veteran in the WNBA world, went public with criticism that seems squarely aimed at Stephanie White. And when front office executives start calling out their own coaching staff on social media, you know the situation is spiraling. Before we get into the fallout, let's be honest about what's going on with the Fever. They came into the season with expectations through the roof. After drafting Clark and bringing in playoff-tested veterans like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson, the message was clear: Indiana was going for it. On paper, it looked promising. But what's unfolded instead is a mess of inconsistency, poor execution, and a complete misuse of Caitlin Clark's abilities. The problem isn't just with losses, it's how they're losing. The team had a double-digit lead against the Aces despite Clark struggling from the field. She was 2-for-9 at one point, yet the Fever were still winning. That shows this team has the tools to compete even when Clark isn't scoring efficiently. But they fell apart because they stopped doing what worked. It wasn't Clark's missed shots that cost them, it was abandoning the formula that built the lead in the first place. The issue runs deeper than just a bad night. It's about how Caitlin Clark is being used. You've got the most electric offensive player in women's basketball, a player who revolutionized the sport at the college level, and Stephanie White insists on running a generic motion offense that takes the ball out of her hands. That's like owning a Ferrari and never driving it over 30 miles per hour. The offense is built to be egalitarian, with constant ball movement, but it's outdated and poorly suited to Clark's strengths. She's being asked to play like just another piece of the puzzle instead of being the one who draws the blueprint. Clark thrived in college under Lisa Bludder's read and react offense at Iowa. She was the engine, the conductor, and the scoring machine. And when Indiana actually lets her play that way, like they did in a recent win over the Liberty, she accounts for over 50 points between scoring and assists. That's what happens when you build around her instead of forcing her into a system that doesn't fit. Now enter Lynn Dunn. After supposedly stepping into a more advisory role, Dunn took to social media and posted something that may seem generic at first glance: you can't expect players to execute things you don't drill in practice. But the context is everything. That post came directly after another ugly performance by Indiana where the offense looked lost and Clark looked frustrated. It's a direct shot at White's system, preparation, and leadership. Fans are also speaking out. They're questioning contracts, like why Katie Lou Samuelson is being paid $180,000 when the team can't get basic offensive sets to work. They're openly turning against White. These aren't casual fans. These are diehards, the ones who've supported the team through years of mediocrity, and now they're fed up. It's clear they feel Clark is being wasted. Stephanie White's recent absence from the team for personal reasons only adds more uncertainty. While those matters are private and should be respected, the timing amid this organizational turmoil is concerning. When your coach is away and your front office is publicly calling out the system, it's a recipe for dysfunction. The offensive stats don't lie. With Clark on the floor, Indiana's offensive rating is 107.5. When she's off, it drops to 82.2. That's a massive 25-point difference, showing how crucial she is. Yet she's being relegated to off-ball duties in an offense that looks more like a youth league drill than a professional strategy. When your best player can see passing angles others can't and shoot from 30 feet with consistency, why take the ball out of her hands? This goes beyond X's and O's. This is about philosophy. You don't bring in a transcendent player and force her to adapt to an outdated system. You change the system to fit her. Other franchises get this. Las Vegas built around Aya Wilson. New York built around Sabrina Ionescu. These teams lean into their stars. Indiana is doing the opposite. What's even more frustrating is that Stephanie White brought this offense from her time with the Connecticut Sun, where it worked with different players and circumstances. But trying to copy and paste that approach to a team with Clark is a huge mistake. It's a one-size-fits-all mentality in a league that demands adaptability. That system worked in Connecticut, but Clark isn't just another player. She's a unique talent with an elite basketball IQ, elite vision, and leadership instincts you can't coach. This system requires everyone to be perfect, to make the right read and the right pass every time. But when Clark's out, or when she's minimized, it completely collapses. It's too rigid, too dependent on precision, and not flexible enough to survive the unpredictable flow of a real game. The Fever's fan base deserves better. They've suffered through the rebuild, waited for a star like Clark, and now they're watching her potential be squandered in real time. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash, knowing exactly how to avoid it, and yet doing nothing to change course. The front office is clearly split. Dunn's tweet was just the beginning, a warning shot that bigger changes may be coming if the coaching staff doesn't adjust. If the Fever can't figure this out soon, other teams will be lining up to show Clark what a real star-centered system looks like. And if Indiana keeps fumbling, Clark's future might not be in Indianapolis for long. Right now, the Fever are at a crossroads. Will Stephanie White adapt her system to Clark's talents, or will the front office step in to force change? If neither happens, the organization risks wasting the prime years of one of the most gifted players women's basketball has ever seen. This drama is far from over, and the next few weeks could define the future of the franchise.